So here we go. We're about to begin. Welcome. Sorry about not sending the email out sooner. Oh well, we got it. Let me see. I didn't get any chat, so I'm just gonna. I'll see if something pops up. Okay. But I'm gonna begin. Alrighty. So we're starting with standing. Welcome. And it starts out with Elvis pelvis. I knew you were just dying to know what it was going to start out with. So you can see my feet are shifting. So I go from the outer foot to the inside foot. And we're just going to start out with the older Elvis, who's slowing down. But the thing is, he never really got old. He just slowed down. So we're just going to do this slow movement, and then you're going to reverse. And you can kind of see I'm moving forward and back. Okay. So, don't be self-conscious about it. It's just a nice movement to get into hip joints. And then let's reverse, and let's just be a nice young Elvis, and you're going to really move the pelvis, Elvis pelvis moving. And I bet some lyrics are going through your mind. And then reverse. And my sister Tony did the 101 days of yoga with me online during the thick of the pandemic. And she loved this. She loved this because she loves Elvis. So anyway, so this makes me think of her lovingly. Yeah, when I talk to her, she'd say, I want to work on legs and I want to do Elvis. So, all right, and then here we go. From here, you're going to, you might need to hang on to something, but I think you can do this. You're going to hug knee into chest, hold just briefly, and release. And the other side, hug knee to chest, hold briefly, and release. Holding a wall if necessary, you're going to grab hold of one foot. You might need a strap. And maybe this is it, heel towards buttock, and one arm can come up into the air. And then the other way, grabbing hold of your foot, knee down, heel in, and arm coming up, extend, and releasing. There we go. I see. I hear. All right. Household sounds. All righty. That's all right. It happens. Must have heard. So what happens on the, Zoom will pick up wherever let me see. They'll pick up wherever the sound is. And so that's the other thing. You'll be watching and all of a sudden you'll see somebody else on screen. All right, when your speaker's on. So where was I? All right, so then we're going to just do the hip. You go out to the side and down. Try to keep your pelvis engaged, your abdominals engaged, so you're not all over the place. Again, you might have to hold on to something, but we're trying to not, so some balance. And then reverse, circle, and circle. Make it big, big, big circle, and circle. Okay, the other one. Did we do both sides? I think we did. Okay, so let's do of the quad stretch. Circle, I'll go back to the quad stretch. And circle, and circle, and then reverse, circle, and circle. Good, and circle. Marianne, maybe we could talk about why my hips really get tired in that. Like, I think my hips must be weak because they get very tired when I make those big old circles. Okay. One side, we'll do both for sure. So hold on, and again, use your strap or hang on. Some of you are going heel to buttock. Maybe you can get both hands to hold the foot and squeeze the shoulders back and look forward and breathe. You're really squeezing shoulders back. And then the other side, holding the foot. Now that might not work, depending on your quad or your knee. And holding with the other foot, and then drawing heel towards buttock, squeezing shoulder blades together, and breathe. and release, okay? And then from here, we've got the one where your foot glides across the floor, and then the foot is above the floor, and then you'll see where it goes. And then the foot goes back. So now maybe you just go a little bit and forward, or maybe you go quite a ways. And your hands could be to hands in prayer at your heart, and you're making like a T with your body, or a warrior 3. And let's try that with the other side. So start out sweeping the floor. And that it might be that you modify. And then maybe you're able to take your leg up. And then maybe you go just part way. My foot is pretty low here. And then forward. And maybe again you do the same. Or you start coming forward. And in this case, you're going to look down. And it's a lot on the hamstrings. I know. We haven't really stretched the hamstrings too much. And then come on up. Good. Some squats that are safe, right? So the heels are in, toes are out. Hands could be again to heart, or just like kind of clasping, and drop down. And then come up. So it's a blend, I think, of strength. And you're going to pitch your weight forward, and there's your stretch. Come up. Keep your spine upright, then I feel like that's a lot more, it's still a stretch, but there's more strength. Press up. Pitch your weight forward, more about stretching the inner thigh. You can bring your hands down, release the back of your neck, and press up. You can keep the legs wide if that works better for you, or feet are just about as wide as the mat when facing the front of your mat. And then you're going to come down and stretch your arms out to a T. So again, if you feel your legs, they're rock solid, having to hold you, but there's a nice stretch to your back. And then come up. And you should feel that. That's work for your legs. Exhale. Sits bones back. Extend. And hands are to heart. And you could repeat that, or maybe you're ready to come down into a squat. So it's only like 10 minutes into the session. So if you feel ready, you come into your squat. If not, modify. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Now we come to a forward fold. So your feet are wide as the mat. And you straighten the legs, not locking out. Look at your feet. They're running parallel to each other. Hands to elbows. And let yourself hang, kind of get a little looseness in there, just move around a little bit. Release the back of your neck. And breathe. And stretching your back. And then from here, hands are onto the thighs. You're coming up. Clasping the hands, rolling the shoulders back, look up. Good. And we'll come forward again. You're going to soften your knees. The hands are still clasped. And straighten the legs. Take the arms away from your back. Nice breath in. And exhale. If the knees are soft, that helps you to release the muscle tension in the low back and the glutes, as well as hamstrings. And then push feet into the mat and come up. All right? So here are the shoulder movements, and what I'm going to do is I'll show on the mat, well, kind of on the mat, and then I'll also be showing at the wall, and not everybody has a wall. That's why I'm going to show both ways. So basically, think Y and W, okay? So this is a Y because your body is the stem of the Y, right? And you could even have, your hands could be facing up or hands facing forward. I usually do hands facing forward, okay? Hike up the shoulders, get it over with, drop them down, okay? Really drop them down. And then you're going to start to bend your elbows, and you're making the W, okay? So the elbows come down, like you're reaching in towards your ribs. But your hands don't come forward. Your hands also come back. And not only that, but you're also looking straight ahead of you and you're drawing the arms back. So they're going in and back simultaneously. Back, in, without arching too much in your back. Breathing in, exhale, extending the arms. You could do it again right where you're at. If you have a wall space, you could do what I'm doing. I'm going to be all the way up against the wall. There's a Y. The backs of my hands are touching, and then touching the wall, and then I'm going to come in, and I'm going to draw the elbows to the sides, and I want the backs of the hands, so some won't be able to touch, some could, back of your head touching, and I'm right up against the wall. My lumbar is slightly arched because of how I have to be, like with the glutes and the shoulders, okay? And then really squeeze in. Now, if you're more open, you walk away from the wall, your head won't touch the wall, and you're still pressing the backs of the hands and your elbows back and closer in together. And release. Last one, wall or no wall. Up, W, back, and squeeze. So feel your back muscles. Notice how you really can't drop your head forward on this. I mean, it doesn't work very well. So it's a corrector, release, relax, everything. A corrector for this, a poor posture, right? I even hate showing it. Okay, so then we have T to L. Here's a T. Your body's making a T. Your palms are going to face you, okay? I'm sorry, palms are facing me. Palms are facing forward. And then you go to an L. So when you go to your L, you're not the V anymore. You're an L. And instead of your hands forward, you're trying to take your arms back. So you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. You're going to take your arms back, like shoulders and hands back. And release. I'll demonstrate it at the wall. And this, they can be done away from the wall. Not. Here you are, T position, back of the head, shoulders to the wall. Draw in. You have your L. Arms are not up, but L. And for many, elbows are touched, not the hands. See if you can squeeze your shoulder blades together. Get the backs of the hands touched down. Don't be alarmed if you can't go there. It's not so easy. And some of you can even walk away and still be there. Walk away and still have your elbows and back of the hand touching. And then release. Hopefully you like these. If you don't, you can toss them out the window. Some of you are going, ooh, these are keepers. All right, next one, we'll do it from the middle of the room. Much more effective on the wall. Right arm is up alongside your right ear. And you're going to turn your head to the right. Now, you're not going to look in front of the arm, but behind it. You're turning. My palm, by the way, is facing forward. Okay, so I'm turning. And then I'm going to look up at the ceiling, just slightly to the right of my hand, up at the ceiling. And I'm going to lean back, not just dropping my head back, but lifting through the chest like you're going into fish pose. Reaching up, and then release. We'll do the other side. The mic gets in the way on this one. Left arm up. And turn your head. You have to get past the arm. And then you're looking to the left, towards the raised arm. Look up at the ceiling. Lift your heart center. Lift your heart center. We're trying to strengthen these muscles that have become weak. And so it'll hold our spine, our neck, our head in position, and then release. The last time we're going to do it, at a wall if possible. At a wall if possible. Okay? And I know you might not have the space, but you know what? On this one, you don't even need much space, okay? So you have one arm up. How close will you be? Pretty close to the wall, okay? Palm is, so you really don't want to be very far from the wall. You want to be close to the wall. And then I'm going to look, this is my right arm. I'm looking to the right, and I'm going to tilt my head back. So I'm looking up at the ceiling. Now my ribs can kind of move up the wall. And I'm trying to activate my back muscles and release. And the other side, and this time you won't necessarily see me very well because I'm at the wall. Okay, so I'm going to turn my head to the left. I'm very close to the wall. And I'm going to look up. I'm going to tilt my head back. Looking up, I'm not like collapsing in my neck. And I'm reaching the arm up, looking upward at the ceiling, and then releasing. So I hope those are helpful for you. I really like those. So you can think YWTL. Maybe you can come up with an acronym for that. I didn't try. I'm sure I could come up with something interesting. Alrighty, so here we are. After all that, we're going to just take the legs wide and come forward. So you could use your blocks, or your hands are sliding down the outside legs, reaching for the ankles, lowering your head, sits bones reaching up, back of the neck relaxed, thighs are strong, and then come on up. And the whole studio smells like lilacs, because I have this beautiful French lilac here that my friend brought over. Ooh, really, really magical. Okay, so heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. We're going to come to sitting, and we'll come up to more standing twists in a little bit. Let me see something. It looks like, is there a message? Yeah, there's messages. Okay, so we did both sides. Okay. All right, good. All righty. That was a while ago. I'm like, oh yeah. It was so funny. Because I got interrupted by turning the sound off. So I was like, did I do left? Yeah. Thank you. So here we are. We're going to sit cross-legged. And the first twist. So simple, the first seated twist. You're turning. Now, I don't want you to wrench. You know, I put this little post on Facebook, my Facebook page, about Andy Goldsworthy. And you may know him as like a nature sculptor. And that's what I call him. I don't know what his title, how you describe his art, but it's beautiful. And he balances rocks, and he uses feathers, and he uses anything found, and he creates patterns. It's very, very beautiful. Turn to the right. And, there's this interview with him. There was what's it called? Something in Tides. There was an interview with him, and he says, that's where I get the idea. Effort minus tension. They're like, how do you get the rocks to balance? Effort minus tension. So that's the twist. That's what we're doing, the twist. That's a theme for your twist. You put the effort. You're not wrenching your back into them. You're not creating a bunch of unnecessary tension. No, you're exploring movement of your spine. Come out, reverse, and press your hand, right hand, left knee, turn. My backhand is busy giving me length, helping me to get lots of length, helping me to really perfect the axis that I want to rotate on. And breathe. Good. And release. Okay, so then from here, we have half spinal twist. So you're going to stretch out your legs, shake them out, go fast, shake them out. And for half spinal twist, it might be that just you have your right leg over the other, or you fold the other leg in. Left arm up into the air, reach up high, elbow across knee, lengthen, twist. If you want to connect the hands, you may. I think I'll just stay in this twist as is. And what's important is your sitting bones down, especially the right, and you feel that the twist originates really in the right hip. If your hip is really open, your outer hip, you probably can twist quite a ways. If it's a little tight, that might determine why the movement feels limited. And then we're going to come out, and we are taking hold of the right leg. Okay, many are going to use the strap. I'll grab my strap. Your right leg. And the tendency is to go back. I want you to be more upright. So bending the elbows, pushing up through the leg, and breathe. And then you're going to be coming onto your back. Because we are going to do the heron pose. But right now, I'm going to come onto your back because I really want this leg to be open when we come to the heron. So here you are, breathing in, pushing up through the heel. Some are really happy. The back is like, oh, thank goodness, can rest. Let's go ahead and take the leg out to the side. Stretch your inner thigh. Right leg to the right, stretching your inner thigh. It's nice to do open poses before the actual twist. That's also really nice. Try to keep your left hip down. And left hand now holding the foot or the strap. You could go partway over. Partway over is very nice, and you feel that differently in your leg. I feel that like in my calf muscle and IT band for me. But when I come across is now when I feel it in my leg, but also in my shoulder and the whole spine. And breathe. So twists, they're pretty amazing. They render the spine limber. They massage the internal organs. They tone, they cleanse, they improve the function of the internal organs. They stimulate the function. So, all right, we're going to come back to this side. So now we have to come up. How are we going to come up? Have your strap nearby. Hold your hand, clasp your hands behind your knee, and you can do a few false starts. You're going to push up. Good. And then maybe you need your strap again, or you're holding your foot. I don't know. You might need your strap. Left hand holding the strap or the foot, right arm extending, and there you are, flying. You're the heron in flight. Breathing in. Exhale. And once again, breath in. Exhale. And release. And we have a whole other side. So shake out your legs. And we'll do second side. So it all started out with half spinal twist. So now you know you have to have your strap handy, okay? So left leg comes over the other. I'm trying to anchor the sitting bones down. Right arm up into the air. Right elbow across the knee. And twist. And breathe. Taking a moment to really move from the navel. Some of you are wrapping. And then we release. And this is where you might need, you straighten your right leg. Go ahead and extend. Maybe you need your strap here. So instead of collapsing, lift up. Hopefully in the, when you come up again, that you're more open on the side. Shoulders are down. And then you come all the way down and hamstring stretch. Pause for a moment. Push up through your heel. And let's take the left leg out to the left, stretching the inside left thigh. And then coming across, right hand holding the strap, coming across, and you might pause partway over. Maybe you're good coming more deeply into the twist. And I do think, I know some, some people are told, you shouldn't be doing lots of twists for many reasons, right? And I think all twists can be modified. You can really modify how you go if you're not supposed to go deeply. And then those you go deeply, can you add an element of strength? So like my leg wants to come over, I'm engaging my core, I'm trying to really get my shoulder down, I'm finding elements of strength. One more breath here. Coming out. And then as you start to come out, hold behind the knee. If you have a better way of coming up, that's fine. So again, you kind of like a few false starts. Take a breath in. On the exhalation, working your way up, holding. Good. And again, you still might need your strap. Your right hand will hold the foot. Left hand could help you to twist by being down or extending into the air. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And again, breathing in. And exhale. And then taking your hand and your wrists kind of cross over for a moment. And release the leg down and shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. Okay. So those are the seated twists. Let's go ahead and come right to child's pose. And as you come to child's pose, press your pelvis back, head comes down, arms are stretched forward, shifting around so you really release your back. And then a few here where you come up through cat and then you arch into upward facing dog. Exhale back all the way to child's pose. Head down and then round into your back. And like a fern unfurling, a fiddlehead unfurling. And again, pressing back. You could continue that, or it can be done from downward facing dog. So you curl toes under, you shift back, stretching your legs, stretching your spine. Coming forward, and knees could be down or knees are up, and you just, the fiddlehead unfurling, that is so fun to say. And then tuck your chin in and press on back. And how can your yoga practice be part of the healing time we've dedicated this class to? Yep. The healing time could come through, again, in so many ways, so many. We're so lucky. I mean, we do have some ways, right, to experience a healing time. So as we're here, we've got venues, you could say. So left hand is reaching for right ankle. What I just did was I brought my hand a little closer in. That kind of helps. Maybe you bend your knees. And then the other way. Left hand down, right hand comes across, and you're twisting. You're really trying to move from your navel, move from your ribs. Look under the arm as opposed to over the arm, okay? Come forward to plank. We're going to come to side plank, and I'm going to suggest just take one knee down. And what happens here is my left hand is slightly behind the left knee. So whichever knee is down, the hand supporting is a little slightly behind because it's like imitating walking. We're bipedal. You need that double track. And maybe you can take your arm up over ear. Some of you can take hold of your foot, right hand, right foot for me, and then kick the leg back, arch, and maybe even looking up. And release. Make fists round into your back. Second side, I'll just turn around, coming to the side plank. And you know, if you prefer to do a full-on plank, because maybe that works better for you, you may do that, okay? Reaching, arm up overhead. Maybe reaching for your foot. Once you have a hold, kick the leg back, look upward, and breathe. And release. Fists round into your back. And back. Good work. And then this next one, again, it does require, you know what I think I'll do? I'll do it from hands and knees, and then we'll do it from downward facing dog. It requires some wrist strength. Yeah. So let's do this. From hands and knees, you just take your right knee to the outside right elbow, and you're not going low, you're trying to go high, and then lower. Left knee, left, just above left outside elbow, and lower. Okay? Plank. Yep. Right knee, right outside elbow, and down. This is core work. Left knee, left outside elbow, and extend. Oh, downward facing dog, the last one. Right leg up in the air, right knee bending, shoulders shifting forward, right knee coming to the outside, right elbow, and the leg goes back, downward facing dog. One more and then you've got it. Left leg up, left knee bending. It's all like tortoise movements. It's short, it's very slow. Left elbow, left knee, left outside elbow, good. And back, extend the leg. Now take your feet wide as the mat. Walk your hands back, hands to elbows, and breathe. Stretching, and breathe. Soften your knees. Good. And then hands are right onto the thighs. Press on up. Woo! And swing the arms up into the air. And hands to heart. Okay. So, some standing ones. We'll go ahead and start out with triangle. Extending the arms. Shift. And there's triangle. It goes into a half moon. Okay? So you are extending and breathing. Your neck is free to move. Your left lower hand doesn't carry much weight. Come up. We'll bring the right hand back. The left arm swings up and look upward. Nice side bend movement. Kind of, you have a posture, and then the posture is a vehicle to go deeper, to discover a calm mind, to discover your breath in a different way. So right now you're breathing into this open left side of your body. And then half moon. Coming over, using a block or not. If some of you use a wall, you've got the wall space. And extend and reach your right arm up and breathe. Good. We'll come to a squat, narrow, a little more narrow. So the feet as wide as the mat as you're looking to the front end of your mat. Drop down. Do what is safe on your knees. Hands are to heart, and breathe. And then press on up. And we have a second side. So generally, I'll look forward, I'll look towards the screen, and then if I use my blocks, I would carry them over. You may have the same thing. So right foot turns out. Back heel should be facing back of the mat, extending the arms. Breathe in. Shift your pelvis. Taking one hand down, one arm up, and stretch. And breathe. Good. See if you can, is there any fine tuning as you're here? A little fine tuning, activating your back more. And we'll come up and we're going to take left hand back, right arm up, and stretch. Look upward. And then we have our half moon. They're coming over slowly, bending the knee, reaching your hand down, and extending, flexing the ankle, arm up in the air, and breathe. Good. And we know, one more breath here. Inhale, exhale. We're going to start taking the arm in the air down, facing your mat, and then come to a squat. So you can see I'm just trying to move in and out of poses slowly, and enough time in the pose that you discover your breath again and again and again. Even now, like, how do you breathe in this pose? How does the breath allow you to expand in certain areas, given a certain pose? And then press, use your hands to press, so you save your knees, and come on up. Yeah. Alrighty, so we go wide, and we have this one, where you're shimmying side, side. So you're in a squat, you exhale, it's almost like your ear is coming down to the floor. Inhale up, exhale, lower. Inhale up, exhale, lower. Inhale up, and exhale, lower. Okay, even it out, and then come up to standing. So for twists, those are open poses, right? So for twists, let's go ahead and start with our standing twist. Let's start this way. So you may want a block or not. Right foot is forward, left leg is back. And you know what? If you have both, a low lunge feels awfully good because you start getting into your left hip flexor. So breathing, stretching. Some do this with their knee down. I'm suggesting knee straight. See what works. And then from here, the right arm starts to come up. So ideally, you have a 90-degree bend. You're able to drop your hip down, knee, right ankle in alignment, and breathe. And lower. Step forward in a forward fold. Soften the knees, sweep the arms up, palms touch. Inhale, arch. Hands to heart center. Second side. Right foot back. And you're lowering, and you want to really make sure you have the 90-degree bend. And from here, so it's kind of nice to stay in the low lunge. Maybe your knee is down, knee could be up. Press your pelvis forward, stretching the right hip flexor. This is the first area to tighten when the body or the mind perceives stress. Whether it's environmental stress or emotional stress or grief, whatever stresses the body, this is where it's going to be, I want to run away from the situation, I want to flee, or I want to fight it. Even if the offender, grief, environment, whatever is stressing you, even if it's something you cannot run away from, the body is designed to run away, fight, okay? And it's kind of, I'm laughing because how do you fight certain things? But that's what we're designed to do. So then when we can come in and stretch, we can work at releasing the effects of stress. So you can just do away with it. Tell the muscles it's okay by stretching into them and speaking to the relax and renew response of the body, turning on the parasympathetic nervous system. And then release. Good work. And step forward. Notice, have your legs soft, hands are to elbows. Notice everything unfolding, unfurling. Woo. And then hands can be on your thighs. As you come up, sweep the arms up. Breathe in. Feel that you did the switch. You turned on the relax and renew response. And then hands are to heart center. Okay. So then now we have right foot forward, left foot back. And the way we're going to work this is you're just coming forward, okay? I will suggest a number of ways. So you could go into revolve triangle. That's fine. Or what I'm doing is I have my right foot forward, and I'm just going to walk hands or blocks to the outside right foot. And just take a moment here to deeply stretch along the left side of the body. We'll come back to this. We'll work on the revolved, but right now I just want to work this way. Some of you may be ready to go further. One more breath here. Can you move your blocks over more? So if your right foot is on a 12 o'clock position, your right hand is trying to move to 3 o'clock. Okay, come back. Bring your hands onto your back. Come up. Clasp your hands. Roll the shoulders back. Look up as a counter pose. Just like what you would do in bridge pose. Step forward and breathe. Second side, I'll turn. It's your left foot forward, the blocks in place, okay? Bring your arms up. Inhale, stretch upward. Come forward. It's okay to bend your knee on the way down if you need to. Straighten your left leg if you can. And you don't have to have blocks, okay? I'm just kind of want to be really thorough and give you a chance to experience the pose differently. So your back heel, right heel is anchored down. You're lowering your head. You're trying to bring your blocks over, like your left hand is on a 9 o'clock position on a block, on a clock. And reach. Lower your head and breathe. And then back to center. And from here, coming up, clasping the hands behind the back, extend and breathe. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. All right. So we're coming to revolved triangle. If you prefer to go to prayer balance, you may do that, okay? It'll be your right foot forward. This is the last of the standing twist. And as we're here, we're going to take the hands into Anjali Mudra. More of like a classical way of coming into the pose, okay? So the hands are, if possible, against your spine, and you're looking up, stretching your neck. And then when you start to come forward, it's as if you have a bar against your hip hinge, and you're coming over that bar. And then you pause halfway. And some of you can go further, bringing your head towards your knee. So if you wanted to stay here, that's another option, right? Or left hand comes down. Right hand on your low back. You can use a block. You're turning towards your right. Extend, and maybe even taking your right arm up into the air. So my hip wants to curl forward. I'm trying to move it back, moving the hip back, and breathing. lower, and let's come to a squat. If you want to sit on your blocks, you may do that, or come right down into your squat and breathe. Take a breath in and exhale. Very next one, pressing up. Blocks could be wide. I'll turn around. Why not? And left foot is forward, right foot back. Hands are behind you. Of course, you can always have a strap. Hands can be clasped. That's fine. Or holding and lifting your heart center. Look upward. And then starting to come forward. So as you come forward, pause about halfway point. Take a moment here. And maybe even lowering your head and breathing. Lowering your hands. And again, it could be prayer balance, or maybe you're taking left hand to your low back, back heels anchored down the hip. Once curl forward, shift it back. Extending your left arm and breathe. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Release. And let's go ahead and step the feet apart, and we'll come to a squat. Once again, reaching. So, some have to come up and then sit down. Some are within just like a drop away from sitting, okay? And you'll be so happy. We're going to come on our backs. And we're not doing twists, okay? So you have the soles of the feet together. Take hold of your head and just kind of lift your head, lengthen out your neck. Like what I'm doing is my hands are scooping my head up, but my head is pushing back down into the hands. And I'm going to lower my head. Take a moment. Your arms could be a diamond up overhead, or arms could be at a T position. See what works for you. And you're just taking a moment here to feel, I don't know, I'm hoping a buzzing sensation through your body, feeling the effects of the poses. Deep breathing. Two more rounds of breath. And then hands move to the outside knees, press the knees together. We're just threading the needle, flexing your right ankle, and right hand goes through the triangle the legs make. You can hold behind the knee, that's easier, or holding your knee. And make sure your right ankle is flexed as you draw the leg in. Right hip stretching. Two more rounds of breath. From here, I hold the foot. My left leg starts to straighten. I have a half lotus. I'm going to lift my head and bring head towards foot, foot towards head, and breathe. If it's easier for you to keep your head down, you may do that. Elbows are bent. And stretching out the legs, reach your arms up overhead, and you have a second side. Left ankle over right. Left hand slides through the triangle, and the eye of the needle, you can call it, and you're holding it there behind your knee or your kneecap. Flex your left ankle. Really work into your outer hip. Go to the place where you feel the hip stretch. And then from here, holding the foot, straighten your right leg. Take a breath in. Lift your head, head towards foot or head to foot, and stretch. And release. And stretching out your leg and taking the arms straight up into the air. Nice. Or up overhead. Good, good. So the very last one that we'll do, if you really want a bridge in there, you may do your bridge. I was just thinking legs up in the air. So if you have a wall, also, some of you might, a free wall. Everyone's got a wall if you're indoors. But you might say, hey, I'll do this. So you could take legs up the wall. What I'm doing is I have a strap, and the strap is going mid-lower leg. And it's kind of tight. Not so tight that it's going to cut my circulation, but it's tight enough that's going to keep my legs together. And I have the block in place. And here I am, breathing. So really good for the lymphatic system, for lymph fluid. Very easy on your heart. And one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. To come out, you could release. It should be easy enough to release. Bring your feet down and remove the block. Now, I know some of you have a bolster, and I think it's so worth it to take a few moments to grab your bolster. So here's what I'm going to say. I have the blanket, too. It's going to be for my neck. So I have the bolster under my knees. Many of you have one. I know after all these months, everyone's like, around the holidays, people are like, I think I'll get a bolster. So I start at one end. I'm just going to make a little roll for my neck. A little roll for my neck. Okay. Oh, that wasn't as easy as I wanted it to be. Okay. A little roll for my neck. And just take a moment. Make sure you're warm. Relaxed. Breathing. Feeling all the poses. They are so powerful. Feeling the healing quality of the yoga practice. This class is dedicated to entering a healing time. A healing time. I spent last weekend at Solduck Hot Springs and experienced a healing time. And I would like you to seek healing times like yoga practice, like shavasana, meditation, a walk in the woods, a walk in your favorite park, was standing outside for a few moments and breathing in fresh spring air. putting your face from time to time up to the sun. You don't have to do it for very long, wear sunscreen, but just putting your face, exposing your skin to the sun, just for a short time. Scan your body and let go of any residual tension you may feel. Go to the places where you hold tension, be it your neck or your low back, or glutes, legs. On an exhalation, let go. In your mind's eye, I would like you to see green, the color green. Green is the color of the heart chakra, and green is a healing color. So green, maybe it is fresh green grass. Some amazing patches of fresh green grass. And you can see that green. Or, though I have at least 2 artists practicing yoga today, I would like you to see the most beautiful color green that you have ever painted. And for others, if you're like, I've never painted, I would like you to see the most beautiful color green that you have ever had in your home, be it on a plant, on a clothing, on something, an artwork at home. Beautiful green. See the green of your favorite park, and the trees and the plants. And then just slowly deepening your breathing. Deepen your breath. Start to move your hands and your feet. Gradually make your way to sitting. And as you make your way to sitting, you could turn your audio on if you like.